me now is the Democratic congressman from Illinois. Congressman Mike Quigley represents parts of Chicago and the surrounding areas. Congressman, thanks for being with us tonight here on the Hill. Appreciate it.
Good to be here. Thank you.
So you just heard the mayor from Chicago there. He says the Trump administration doesn't have the pulse. I just witnessed the president, for the first time a Republican in 20 years, win the popular vote. New York Times poll question, do illegals who have arrived in the last 4 years, should they be deported? 63% of Americans say yes. What about if they have criminal records? 87% of the country says yes. Who is the pulse, Brandon Johnson or the Trump administration?
Yeah, when the Trump administration says that they're all criminals, I think it has a way of influencing the public. Let's look at the analysis on it just this weekend. ICE targeted about 260 individuals in Chicago. Only 7 of them had arrest warrants for them. The Biden administration, the Obama administration, all went out to go after and use ICE and people to gather folks who have committed crimes. They should be held accountable. Let's remember, we have 11 million undocumented people living in this country. I'm not sure when this became so partisan, but Ronald Reagan signed 2 amnesties for them to be having a path to citizenship. This is a country of immigrants. A path to citizenship makes sense for who we are as a country, unless we want to change the inscription on the Statue of Liberty for our economy.
63% of the country, though, says do exactly what we just witnessed in Chicago.
Right. And what I'm saying is this is because it's on the heels of the presidential candidate and the president telling them that they're all criminals, obviously influencing this. The fact of the matter is they're not. They're the strength of this country. And the right thing to do is usually the moral thing to do. So you're not going to deport 11 million people. In the 4 years of the first Trump administration, they deported 1.5 million people. We need to secure our border. We need to pass comprehensive immigration reform. This is the strength of our country, not a weakness.
You talk about passing comprehensive immigration reform. The Lincoln-Riley Act, you voted against it, Congressman.
Yes.
How can you sit there and tell the American people we want to pass comprehensive immigration reform? We want to potentially even maybe work with Republicans. And when at the same time, when you cast a vote, it's against the Lincoln-Riley Act.
Yeah, and I appreciate the snarky way you asked that.
No, it's not a snarky way. I'm asking.
The Lincoln-Riley Act said if you're accused of even a petty offense, you're to be in jail. So there's some due process afforded everybody who lives in this country. So if you were going to pass a bill and try to get bipartisan support for people who care about this, and we appreciate that someone who commits a serious crime needs to be held accountable, but it just went to the extreme. A petty offense accused, you're going to be put in jail. It's just...
It does mention burglary and larceny.
Because we do need to secure the border. We do need to pass comprehensive immigration reform. This country, I have been to innumerable press conferences where the Chamber of Commerce, the agricultural sector of our economy, the manufacturing sector, hospitality, all say the same thing. We desperately need these workers.
Let me leave.
Economy, they grow, they pay taxes. They are a strength of our country. So if the President of the United States wants to set the mindset of a country in one way, it is still the moral, it is still the right thing to do. Remember, so many of these millions are kids. They have no other country.
Let me ask you about...
Let me their whole life here. Do you think they should be deported?
Let me ask you about what President Obama...
If you're so concerned about this,
you're the member of...
The kids who have known no other country should be deported back to some country they've never known.
Congressman, respectfully,
about who we are as a country.
Respectfully, you have the vote and I do not, which is why I ask the questions and I let you respond to our viewers here on NewsNation and to those listening to us on SiriusXM.
Let me just ask you this. Let me leave you with this, Congressman. Your assumptions may be wrong.
Congressman, let me leave you with this. Do you believe the streets of Chicago are safer tonight? Yes or no?
I believe that the Biden administration was arresting 300 people a day on criminal warrants. I don't think there's any change there. The fact is,
623 is the average, so there is a little change.
Who are not committing crimes. People who are here on undocumented are 40% they are 40% less likely to commit crimes than the average citizen.
Thank you for watching, and make sure you go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.